What? The Sharks win? What? But no, of course, they had to torment us a little bit more about it. The Sharks win in Dallas, even with Pavelski scoring. Take that. We'll break it all down. And dare I say, they won. And maybe back in a playoff race. Oh, we'll tease you about
Jesus
that.
Christ.
Making sure Ian was up. Let's talk about it right now. This is Teal Town After Dark. Sorry, I had to.
Please tell me.
Good evening, everyone. It is November 11th, 2022. On this Veterans Day in the States and Remembrance Day in Canada, lest we forget, we thank you all who have served our countries to keep them nice and free. As we talk about this wonderful game of professional men's ice hockey, the Sharks beat the Dallas Stars 5-4. Welcome to Teal Town After Dark. This is your live interactive Sharks postgame. We do this after every game. So here's how you do it. Chat with us and fellow Sharks fans in Sharks territory and all over the world on the YouTube page or the app. Of course, follow us on the social, YouTube, Twitter, for now, I guess, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, Spotify, Reddit, Discord, of course, TikTok, and find everything at tealtownusa.com. And, of course, if you want to support the pod, you can do it through a super chat donation here, or check us out with a donation on Venmo. And with that, I want to say good evening to my good friend, Mr. Ian Reed.
Did you really? Did you say the P word in the opener? The P word? This team, really? God damn, one win and everyone gets fucking dumb.
Hey, plan the parade, because in a few years there won't be a street for them to plan a parade on, thanks to Bart. But how are you this evening? A big win and a nice response, especially after what Coach Quinn and Captain Couture said last night postgame.
Yeah, obviously, look, they're going to win games every once in a while. And tonight happened to be their night. I think there's a lot of things that you can definitely take from tonight that I liked. I think there was a couple of things where I didn't like so much, but I think all in all, look, when the Sharks do good, it's good. As I've said a million times on this podcast show, whatever this thing is that we do. Yeah, no, I mean, look at when the Sharks do good, it's good. Like at some point they had to win a game. And like I said, I have grand illusions of where this team's going to finish? No, I don't. So I'm going to enjoy the wins when they come, because I don't think there's going to be very many of them.
Yeah, you take what you can get, because it's just been that kind of year. You've already had 2 streaks of 5 games where you haven't won. This team isn't exactly going to be, dare I say, juggernaut, to steal a quote from Chris Johnston. But, they seem to come out and they come out with a fight. But I also think they've been playing better in the last few weeks, that they just haven't had a chance to, they haven't capitalized on that victory.
Yeah, I think, like, here's the thing, right? And I think I said this yesterday on the show too, was like, they got Carlson hot, they got Timo hot, and then the goaltending kind of cooled down. I thought James Reimer was really good tonight. I don't think I fault him on any of the goals, to be completely honest, even though there was 4 of them. I think Reimer played a really solid game, and with him kind of, with him playing a good game and everything else kind of still clicking offensively, obviously recipe for a Sharks win, and that's what we got tonight.
Yeah, and it started off not in a hot direction. The goal, again, Less than 5 minutes
Yeah.
into the game, Jamie Benn makes it 1-0, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. Freaking Sharks are gonna let this go on. Then they get a power play thanks to a Hintz high stick, and then a guy that's not named Meier or Hertl, or for that matter Couture, as he starts to get going himself, Alexander Barabanov gets going with a power play goal to tie it up at 1.
Yeah, I mean, Barabanov would be like, if we gave 3 stars, like Barabanov would be my first star tonight. He was all over the ice, and he was definitely a part of pretty much a lot of the good things that happened for this team. He was definitely a part of it. And so, I mean, yeah, great game for him. Obviously, like a stupid good pass to Couture on that goal. I mean, scored his own goal and then set up that really pretty Couture goal with that just stupid good pass.
Oh, that was beautiful.
I think it's yeah, like I like Barbie had a hell of a game tonight, and big part of the reason why they won.
Yeah, that made it 1-1. 6 minutes later, you have Evgeny Sveshnikov come back into the lineup. He gets a nice greasy goal, and that fourth line did a decent job there with Lindblom and Lawrence there to make it 2-1. But damn it, Ian, damn it again, Jamie effing Benn. The 11th last minute goal given up by the Sharks to tie it up at 2, and that could have demoralized this team even more than they already have been.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of expected things to just kind of fall off the rails from there, and I'm like, oh, this game started off so well and it's gonna end so badly. Clearly I was wrong on that, but yeah, I was I just kind of threw my hands up when that goal was scored, because I'm just like, are we really gonna do this again? But as we know, the Sharks would not fold up and die like a cheap suit, so good on them. But man, I thought, when that goal went in, I'm just like, oh, this fucking game's over.
Yeah, and it was a high turnover in the offensive zone from Matt Nieto, and I think that's where Nieto got flipped for Sveshnikov, and then as you said, first off, you get Timo Meier with the goal right after Magna looked like he hit the post to make it 3-2, and then you have Couture getting that beautiful shell-like pass from Alexander Barabanov where it was a cross crease to make it 4-2, and even Couture was saying, and pardon the kids watching, nice fucking pass to Barbie. Nice to see, great to see, and Sveshnikov, being a little disturber in front of the net to maybe throw them off a little bit too.
Yep, yeah, definitely. Not a great game for Nieto though. Nieto didn't have a good game. Nick Bonino really didn't have a good game, in my opinion. But the big guys showed up tonight. So
yeah, and big time there with Meier's goal. That extends his point streak to 7 games. He's got now 7 goals, 4 assists. You knew once he got that first one, he was going to get going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't worried about Meier. Just Meier's always been kind of a streaky guy, but he leads the league in shot attempts on goal. So I mean, obviously, with a guy as talented as Timo Meier, they're gonna start finding the back of the net. And now it seems like he's found his groove, and he's been really good. Like I said, I was kind of always of the opinion it's only a matter of time. Him, Hertl, that's kind of what I've been preaching all season. It's a matter of time. They'll figure it out.
Right. And Hot Wheels 84 Barbie makes Logan look halfway passable. But I'll say this, Couture needs good, solid line mates to produce offensively. And I think with Barabanov now in there, that's kind of helped out.
It has helped a little bit. Yeah. Couture's not going to be, he's never been a player that's going to just do it all by himself. It's never been Logan Couture. So obviously having decent line mates will help him, and they've got some chemistry there, it seems like. So while I was a little bit skeptical of taking apart that top line of, taking Barbie off the line with Hertl and Meier, but it's worked out really well. It wouldn't have been something that I would have jumped to so quickly, but credit to David Quinn for taking a shot on it, and it's worked out because With Barbie, Barbie kind of comes off that line. The other line the first line's been going just fine without him, and Couture's kind of been looking halfway respectable with Barbie on his line. So yeah, I mean, credit to David Quinn there, because they can't just be a one line team.
And also credit Kevin LeBanc starting to gel a little bit on that top line to make that allowable to do that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at again, the big guys got to be the big guys, but the problem is when you put everyone on one line, like, it makes you a much easier team to defend. Now the Sharks aren't going to, like, they've scored a lot of goals of late, but I would still look at some of the, like, with the exception of tonight, I would look at some of the teams they played. I don't think that's going to be a trend that's going to super continue. So you need looks from more than one line.
Right. In order to win, you definitely need all your lines to execute, and you got that a little bit. You got Barabanov, second line, even though that was a power play. Svechnikov, and then you have your heavy hitters, Meier and Couture, to produce, and that made it a 4-2 lead. I mean, that was just 65 seconds into the second period. Dallas fought hard. I mean, there was that shot that Tyler Seguin hit off the crossbar. Even he was like, well, I didn't know it went in or not. And upon review, I usually that's like, oh yeah, that's a goal, I swear. Seguin's like, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, I think if you're Dallas, like, you're probably pretty frustrated in that situation too, right? Because obviously, like, Seguin obviously knew he didn't score because he then, like, you're right, like, he didn't raise his hand, didn't do anything. And then not only that, but they were pouring on the pressure. So to get a stoppage of play like that, like, I'd be kind of miffed, because it's kind of a double slap in the face, because not only is it not a goal, which it clearly wasn't when you saw the replay. We knew it was going to be a really, really quick review. But it also killed any, like, pressure that they had. It stopped the play. So I think I'd be extra annoyed if I was Dallas at that point.
Yeah, and that kind of killed their momentum a little bit, even though they didn't get the goal. That made it 4-2. Then why do we have the instigator rule if we're not going to call it? Dellandrea gets hit by a Couture, a good solid hit, and Ben's like, let's go, drop the gloves. Yeah, Couture gets a couple in, but he doesn't even look like he's really engaged after that when Ben's trying to start crap. But I mean, they only get 5 each. I was very surprised by that.
I'm not, just because I think the instigator rule just never gets called unless you're, like, the only time you ever get really called for an instigator, like, you don't call an instigator on established NHL players. Like, that's the penalty you call on buddy who's up from the AHL for a game and, looks like they're trying to goon it up. I wasn't super upset by that. I always hate that the NHL is a league where you have to, you lay a clean physical hit and you have to go and, like, the code is you have to go and fight now, which is, in my opinion, like, I'm not super anti-fighting. Like, I've never been super anti-fighting, but I think it's really stupid that, like, you make a perfectly legal play and then you have to follow it up by doing something that is technically against the rules. And that's the thing with the NHL. It's always bugged me. I think Jamie Benn obviously wanted to go there. I think once he realized Couture wasn't really into it, like, nothing really came of it, because I think Jamie Benn would pretty badly wreck Logan Couture if they went full bore. And maybe, I don't know, maybe because he didn't kill Logan Couture, they're like, all right, you guys can just have 5 each. Like, maybe if he, like, absolutely dummies Logan Couture like he could have, maybe then they called the instigator, but because there wasn't really much to it, I don't know. I mean, like, it's a dumb rule.
No, I get your point. It's that there wasn't much to it. It was just like, oh yeah, well, you touch my teammate, I'm gonna beat the crap out of you. It's like, come on.
Right. Like, I think if like Jamie Benn comes over and absolutely just dummies Couture,
yeah,
then I would probably be on here being like, where's the instigator? But in this situation, I don't know. I think the instigator rule, like, again, it's something that really doesn't get called ever. It's on the books because I think it would just be like one of those things where they could take it off the books and no one would really give a damn.
Right.
But They won't. It'll be there forever. And it just is what it is. Because if they take away the instigator rule, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get all like the people that are like super anti-fighting get their panties in a bunch, and you're gonna see a bunch of articles on how the NHL is encouraging fighting, even though fighting's like down at levels it's never. You know what I mean? Like fighting is at lower levels than it's ever been, right? And it's not because the instigator rule's there. It's just because that's the way the game's evolved. But if you took the instigator rule away, it would just be, a field day of just stupid bullshit articles about how the NHL is trying to bring back fighting and that's terrible. And it's bullshit, but that's what would happen. So it's easier just to leave it on the book and not call it.
It's one of those things where it's we have it on there just in case. So that way everybody can be quiet for a moment.
Yeah, like I said, they'll call it. Like if you have some like AHL plug that's coming in to, playing a game because he's an injury thing and he goes and dummies a star player after a clean hit, then yeah, that's what they're going to call that. But other than that, man, it's just there. Yeah. It's just there. And like I said, it's easier just to leave it on the books and not call it than to take it off, because the optics of taking it off, like I said, you'll read a bunch of like a billion articles tomorrow about, oh my God, they're trying to bring back fighting. What are they doing? Will someone think of the children?
I'm waiting for you just like, I'm going to take you down next week on Raw. From you.
Right? Like,
but Sharks up 4-2. Then they get in the third period a goal from Tomas Hertl, which was a beautiful backhander, and make it 5-2. And I'm gonna set up everything for the third period with this from Uncle Damfee. I don't think I've seen you on our chats before, so thanks for joining us. The Sharks have made for some entertaining hockey this year. We can be up 5-0 in the third, and I still wouldn't be certain.
Yeah, no, I know.
When they say don't go away, they literally mean don't go away, because it's going to be helter-skelter going on in this one.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So then Dallas comes back strong. Rupe hints his 6 to make it 5-3, and then
nice shot.
Oh, I really like Rupe Hintz. I mean, he's an underrated player with him.
Really nice shot, but also a lot of puck watching.
Yeah. It reminds me of Sod last night when there's 4 Sharks surrounding him and he's got a free chance to take a shot there.
Yeah.
That made it 5-3, and then Dallas was really coming on strong, and of course. Mm-hmm. The big Pavelski himself decides to get on the scoring. Joe Pavelski, his 7th of the season. Robertson gets, his second assist of the period. And then all of a sudden, oh, shoot.
Yeah, here they come. Yeah, and again, like Jacob Magna kind of gets turnstile by Pavelski there. You can't let Pavelski shoot from there. We've seen Pavelski do that a million times. Can't let him shoot from there. Can't let him get around you like that. And unfortunately, unfortunate play for Magna, I think, who is trying to do his best to defend Pavelski. Pavelski just went around him. And again, like we've seen Pavelski shoot from there a million times in Teal. We know how that ends. So not really surprised that turned into a goal. Again, but I don't really fault Reimer a ton on these games. Like, I thought he played a really good game tonight, but yeah, Dallas sure as fuck made it interesting, didn't they?
Holy crap. And I would say if there was still like 50 second, like 50 seconds, 5 minutes, whatever, Dallas probably is on the way coming back. But the Sharks hang on somehow by the skin of their teeth, to quote Demi Lovato. 5-4 final. As you said, James Reimer had a pretty good night, 25 saves on 29 shots.
Yeah, I thought a return to form for Reimer, because I think his last couple of games haven't been very good. So a definite return to form for him, in my opinion. I don't know what the save percentage was, probably not particularly good, which is why you don't use save percentage in a single game. But
right, 862, not the prettiest ones, but I mean, still 25 saves on 29 shots. Always pretty solid on the night. Erik Karlsson does not get on the board, so his his streak kind of comes back to a run. But and as we said, it's a 7-game point streak for Meier. Jason Robertson's 6-game goal streak comes to an end as well. And for David Quinn, his 100th NHL coaching victory. So
good for him.
Yeah. So he had to wait a while, but only took him 2 weeks. Uncle Dampy again. Erik Karlsson is on a serious cold streak, though. He needs to break this shit.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck is he doing at this point?
How dare he?
How dare he?
Yeah, no kidding.
Just the worst.
And if you did see some shaking from my end, we did have an earthquake over here. It looks like it was a sharp jolt. Looking preliminarily about 3.3, centered in the Lafayette area, if you're familiar with the Bay Area. So, not again. But Sharks win. Thank goodness. I mean, nice to get a victory. Overall, like I said, they've played well. They just found a way to lose tonight. They just didn't find a way to lose this time.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from the Sharks. Like, I thought they played a good game. Dallas kind of didn't really come out of the gate very strong, as they've been a pretty good starting team this year. So I mean, the Sharks took advantage of I think what was a slow start by Dallas. I think I give the Sharks full marks here. I think things got a little squirrely at the end, but I thought they held on and they put themselves in a position to win, and they finished it off with a win. So I give them full marks tonight. I don't want to take anything away from them.
Yeah. Overall, only 2 players, Ferraro and Karlsson, were over 20 minutes. I mean, it's the interesting walk of it all, is that Karlsson, I think, played like 10 minutes in the first period, and it ends up only finishing up at just a little bit under 23 minutes, and Ferraro with over 24. Everybody else is fairly even between 16 and 19.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Dallas broadcast said that they didn't really see Karlsson that much, but I thought he still was taking regular shifts in the third. So maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
And
he's hurt.
Oh God, don't say that. No.
I'm just trying to ignite the chat.
Ignite the chat, or AJ for Sunday, right? And then of course Marc-Edouard Vlasic had almost a 3-minute shift at the end of the game. Because why not?
My favorite thing has been the last couple of games is every time the Sharks get scored on, they find Marc-Edouard Vlasic, and he just looks like they're just the look on his face is just we're never gonna win again. Because I up here I just get whatever feed they give me. I don't get to choose my feed, which is really dumb. Sportsnet, you suck.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get to choose my feed, man. I get whatever feed they give me, which is generally not the Sharks feed. Even when they're at home, when they're at home, it's usually the Sharks feed, but not guaranteed. I was really mad in Anaheim game. I had to listen to fucking Brian Hayward when they were playing at SAP. You want to ruin my night? That's a good way to ruin my night.
Well, we're not trying to, but that's weird that Sportsnet is only gives you one feed. ESPN Plus at least gets you both feeds, and heck, some of them get to be in Spanish, for that matter. I don't know. Just kind of rolling through the stats. Like I said, only the 2 defensemen over 20 minutes.
What was Bonino's face-off percentage today?
25%.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was surprised that he was taking a lot of those draws when the chips were kind of down at the end there, because I didn't think he had been that good, and obviously the numbers bear that out. Weird stuff, right? David Quinn does some weird stuff. Trying to hold on to a game like that, and the numbers bear it out. Bonino, not great in the dot today.
Yeah, that whole third line was struggling. I mean, I know we say that the plus minus isn't exactly the best stat to look at, but Cunnin and Bonino were -3. Nico Sturm, who I absolutely love and has been great in my mind. It was a -4 tonight. So rough night for
Yeah,
that
that
line.
doesn't surprise me though, because because I think I don't remember who's been very banging this drum. I think it's Ben from Circling the Cup, and he's been very like, yeah, he's been scoring, but his underlying numbers are not good. So I'm not surprised by that stat.
Yeah, so tough night for the third line there. They obviously were having a rough time. Granted, Nico Sturm's 75% of the face-off circle, so
Yeah,
go
like
figure
I like
that.
Nico Sturm too, but like I've liked Nico Sturm. I like that addition to the team.
Mhm.
If you brought him in and maybe not some of these other guys, then
Oh,
maybe I'm not so
jeez.
sour about the way the Sharks are constructed this year. But yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice to see that. But nice to see Meier, Couture, Hertl each get a goal and an assist tonight. And of course, as we mentioned previously, the Gordie Howe hat trick for Logan Couture.
Known enforcer Logan Couture.
Living up to the captaincy of Owen Nolan, having to drop the gloves and score in the same game, right?
Two names which should never be used in the same sentence.
No disrespect to either one of them, but yeah. So now they finally get to relax. I mean, yeah, they had Sunday through Wednesday off, then had to fly, and now all of a sudden, okay, we're gonna fly to St. Louis, go down to Dallas, and now let's go back up to Minnesota for a game. Like, who makes these damn schedules? That's crazy.
People who have to schedule around very busy buildings.
Very busy buildings, and make sure you get those frequent flyer miles, I guess. I don't know.
I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Private jet.
Getting bitchy with the schedule isn't my kink. That's not what I'm here for.
No. You have other kinks.
I have other kinks, yes.
That we try to trigger you for, and okay, we'll just quickly move on to that, because that's probably getting a little too much information there. In the chat, Sleepy Mofo asking, go back to Reimer on Sunday, or have Kakkonen play against, I guess, essentially his former team, and Reimer play on Tuesday against Vegas.
No, I go back to Reimer. Reimer is really good. I don't know why you would I would play Reimer until he's not good, and then you let Kakkonen have a turn. And then if Kakkonen's not good, you go back to Reimer. If Kakkonen is good, then he gets to play. That's the way I would do it. But I'd roll with Reimer. I thought Reimer was really good tonight. I would reward him with another start.
For sure.
If it's like, again, because the word that they keep preaching is meritocracy. Well, if this is a true meritocracy, if we are to take what they say at face value, then James Reimer should get the start. James Reimer was great tonight.
Yeah. 25 saves for Reimer in that one. Uncle Danfy actually asking, also praying for Nedavara. I can't believe Husek has to sign Benning. And they've still been quiet.
Benning.
Taking a dump.
Yeah, Matt Benning's fucking terrible, eh? I think my highlight of the game was like Matt Benning, where like the player who was behind the net and like the player had fallen, so he had like all the time in the world and almost put it over the glass without deflecting it. And I thought, man, if like that penalty would just be the epitome of like Matt Benning's season. Yeah, Nudavara, like it's unfortunate. I don't know what the injury is. I have a hard time keeping up with everything going on, and plus the Sharks don't tell us shit about anything. So I don't know what his injury status is. I hope like he gets better, obviously. I guess other dude, what's his name? Was skating.
Knizhov.
Knizhov, thank you. Yeah. I get him and Niza mixed up. Knizhov was skating, so that's good to hear. After the setback that he had, obviously getting hurt before the season started, completely unrelated from his other injury, like those kind of situations just suck. But yeah, whatever Nunavara is dealing with, I hope it gets better. I hope he can come back at some point, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's been told to us or not. I'm not sure.
No, I haven't heard anything right now with Nedavara. I mean, we hear they're getting close, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, nice to hear that Knizhov's starting to skate again. Obviously, he's a long ways to go. right now, but good to see that he's getting out there a little bit more. So
yeah, I think he's got a lot of. I'm sure he's got a long process to get back to a situation where he could re-enter the lineup, but it's still, but skating's a good first step. And I just like I said, I feel terrible for him because you have that injury, which was pretty awful, and then you get a completely different injury right before the season starts, training to try and be ready and look good in camp. And you want to really just, you get super excited, it's like you're going to go, and then to have a setback like that with a completely different injury, I mean, you can't help but feel bad for the kid.
Yeah, it's tough because he looked like he was decent to be on this team, and I know we were talking about it, all year last year when we kept, is he close? Maybe he's closer. Yeah. Maybe getting really, really close. No, he's done for the year.
Yeah.
In the chat, Sleepy Mofo, any CUDA blue liner that's looking good who maybe brought up, or is the organization letting them marinate? And I would say they're probably just marinating them.
I wouldn't bring anyone up right now.
No, and I think
and look at the Barracuda did win last night against Ontario, a very good Ontario team, that they beat. But honestly, I don't. Again, if you I always, you have to remember that I try and take the Sharks at their word and look at this through the lens of not what I think, but what I think the organization is going to do based on what they say, and based on what they've told us, and based on what they've done so far this season. I don't think anyone's banging down the door to come up from the Barracuda right now. And that's not to say that everyone's doing bad, or we should be super worried about this draft class that's a lot of these guys are playing on the Barracuda right now. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying based on the criteria the Sharks have given them, I wouldn't call anyone up right now.
No, and I don't think anybody's been unreal, been going off in the Barracuda yet. I mean, yeah, they won last night. They snapped their
good
losing
game
streak. Yeah.
Yep.
Strassman gets his first AHL victory. But nobody's like, oh my gosh, we have to get this guy up here.
Yeah, no one's like tearing it up right now. There's been guys who have been really good. Like Tristan Robbins has been really, really good. I've been pumping Bordelot's tires this whole time. I think Eklund's, despite Eklund's maybe lack of counting stats, I think he's played really, really well. But again, I don't think anyone's earned a call up at this point. I don't think anyone's gonna. I don't know who you would bring up. I know people are like, oh, you could bring up this guy and sit Matt Benning, but that's not real. That's what you probably could do, but that's not real. That's not going to happen. We can say it till we're blue in the face, but that's not going to be a thing that happens with this team. So I'm not going to sit here being like, okay, well, it's time to bring up Merkley and sit Benning, because that's just not going to fucking happen.
No, it won't. But I will say, I did like what Kevin Lacey said to us in our DMs tonight, in the sense that Sharks fans hate Matt Benning and love Joe Pavelski so much that if it had been a home game, they still would have been calling for an interference penalty on Benning, which, Kevin, you are absolutely right. Let's be honest here. Oh, man. The Barracuda, I believe they are playing tomorrow
night against Colorado.
And then they also have, yeah, that makes sense. Let's play a game at the same time the Sharks are playing a game. It's a Pucks and Paws game at TechCU Arena, so be on the lookout for that. We'll be having coverage on that, along with an After Dark takeover of the Pucknologist. So usually the Pucknologist goes at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Pardon me, my contact is now starting to dry up. Forgive me here. So the Sharks and Wild begin at 3 o'clock. The Barracuda and the Eagles will start at 3 o'clock. Following the Sharks and Wild, the Pucknologist will take over After Dark. So you'll get your full recap of the game, plus the recap of the week that was in Sharks hockey with AJ and Jerk. So I would say roughly around 5:30. So be on the lookout for that.
You know what happens, right? There's this little button on your little YouTube screen there. It has a little bell. Yes.
Oh.
It's a little bell. And if you hit that bell, you will get notified when we go live. And you won't have to worry about what time is it. Just wait for the notification
and smash that subscribe button, as we always
and
tell
hit the like button and all that other fun stuff.
And of course, if you're not, go ahead. Sorry.
I say Michael in the chat asking if I expect to see Harrington in for Benning next game. Maybe, but like again, like the what 7th D man are we gonna put in the lineup instead? Like I don't know, man. This shit doesn't impress me.
I mean, we're 20% into the season. Sharks get their 4th victory. I think they entered tonight with the fewest wins in the NHL. So anything is possible. And let's be honest here. The victories that they've had, the Rangers, Leafs, tonight against Dallas, and I'm blanking on the 4th one. Help me out here. Oh, Philly. I mean, Philly was 4-1 to begin the season. The other 3 teams have been starting out strong. I believe Dallas has been fighting with Winnipeg for first.
I like how the Sharks beat all the teams that I just absolutely detest. That's my favorite part of this. Like, that's all the games they're going to win. I can deal with that.
Hey, as you've said before on the show, make it entertaining and make it interesting. And I think they've been turning it on ever since they had that first 0-5 start. Come on. So they're getting better. What is it? 4-5-3 in their last 12 games since they started. It's like just crazy. Sleepy Mofo, this is an interesting part too. Was Balcers being waived discussed already? I'm not advocating for or against the Sharks claiming him, even if it was possible.
So they need to bring back Aaron Ekblad's coming back in the lineup, so they have to do some cap gymnastics is what I've gathered from there, and Rudy Balcers going on waivers seems like that's the way they're going to do it. I'll be interested to see if someone claims. I haven't been paying super attention to what Rudy's been doing in Florida, but it didn't seem like a lot of people were super thrilled. Like when I was looking through when it was announced, like just kind of going through some of the Twitter threads and whatnot, Florida fans didn't seem too thrilled that Balcers was the odd guy out there. So it'll be interesting to see if someone claims him. I don't know. I think the Sharks claim him. No, you're not going to claim a guy you bought out. Maybe they might. Who knows with this fucking team?
Hey, we've seen anything possible. I mean,
anything's possible. I would be so pissed though. Like Rudy Balcers, like making like whatever money is getting claimed by the Sharks after. I mean, he got some of his money because obviously the buyout percentage for a player of his age is a lot lower than your standard buyout. So I mean, he did get some money out of it, but yeah, I'd be a little pissed off if the Sharks came back and claimed me for league minimum, whatever the fuck it is he's making now.
He's got 2 goals, 2 assists for 4 points in 14 games. Originally, they were put him up on the line with Sasha Barkov, but of course he's kind of trickled down there. I'm curious as to how that would work. I believe the Sharks still have some cap room.
I don't think I don't see the Sharks doing it. And the reason why is I want to double check this before
the Sharks
spout my mouth and say something dumb.
The Sharks have 229,000 of cap space, so they would have to
they would have to do some gymnastics to do it. Also, they are sitting at 49 contracts. Teams generally speaking do not like to be at 50 contracts, and I don't see the Sharks capping out their contract limit to bring back Rudy Balcers, a guy who they loved so much they bought him out in the offseason.
Yeah. Just going through Cap Friendly, I'm like, wow, Alexander Barabanov has a modified no trade clause? What? At $2.5 million, but okay. We'll see. I mean,
I don't see it. Like teams like the Sharks are at 49 contracts. Teams do not like to be at 50 contracts because obviously it's not a very flexible situation to be in. Plus they would have to, if they're going to bring in Balcers, they got to send someone else through waivers and hope that they get claimed. Like it makes no sense for the Sharks to put a claim there on Balcers. I wish Balcers well though. I hope whatever happens with him, he does well.
Yeah. Wish him the best. Hopefully, he gets a home somewhere. Otherwise, he'll be headed to Charlotte with the Checkers, which Seems so weird that they're not the minor league affiliate for the Hurricanes anymore. But go figure.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was like when I saw Charlotte in the chat, and I know AHL affiliates get changed all the time, but I was like, what?
Yeah,
it's not Hurricane.
Go figure on that one. And then what? Carolina's in Chicago, which again, another weird conundrum.
Not everyone can have their minor league franchise in the same city,
right? Or the same arena.
Or the same arena, yeah. If you're Calgary, everyone plays in the Saddle Dome. Right. Everyone.
Yeah. Hitmen, Wranglers, Flames,
men's league. I'm sure.
Yeah, the Calgary Roughnecks. They'll throw the turf on, play indoor lacrosse. So go figure on that. But I think that will do it for us at this time. So in case you missed anything or want to watch this again, you can check us out on tealtownusa.com or on our YouTube channel where, as Ian said, smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That'll notify you when we do go on the air live. And that's usually after every game. And then for Technologists on Sundays. Of course, you can also get us audio-wise at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, and all others. If we aren't on there, let us know. And if you're watching this on on the replay, hit us up with your comments. Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Couture with the Gordie Howe Hat Trick. Pavelski scores, but the Sharks still lose. How dare you? What do you think? Did the Sharks just ruin their chances at Connor Bedard now that they're sitting just 2 points out of a playoff spot? I mean, come on.
Columbus is going to make a really strong case for Bedard.
Oh, man.
With the blue line they're currently trotting out.
That's scary. With Werenski now done for the year with a shoulder injury. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Sleepy Mofo. Watch. Sharks start 13 forwards and scratch betting. Oh, no.
Anything can happen.
Hey.
But, Matt Benning's definitely the guy that you signed for 4 years.
Oh man. Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow.
4 more years. 4 more years.
Oh, don't get me started. I saw a tweet today, and I think I'm blaming Ted Ramey for it. It's like, yay, finally we can start about the 2024 presidential election. Stuff like, oh God, come on.
Yeah, man. Well, that's like your whole gimmick down there, though. You guys are in like just a constant state of election. I love it.
Dear
I don't love
Lord.
it. I feel bad for you.
Dear Lord, come on.
We don't do a ton of things right up here, but like that's one thing we do right. It's like we have this really short campaign and then it's over and then we just fucking get on with our lives until the next one.
Right? That seems like it should be, but no. Enough political talk. Well, let's celebrate. Our Sharks win their 4th win of the season with a 5-4 victory over the Dallas Stars. Again, check out all of our content on our YouTube channel. Of course, hit us up audio-wise wherever you get your podcasts. Even Ian, Mark, and Kevin recently did a Teal Tinted, doing a deep dive on the prospects in the CUDA.
Don't know when we're going to do that again, but we'll figure it out.
And then, of course, the Technologists will take over After Dark Sunday with following the Sharks and the Wild. That game is at 3 p.m. So, again, like Ian said, hit that notification bell right now as you're hitting that like button because there's only 18 likes. Come on, people, let's go. And check us out Sunday following Sharks and Wild and CUDA and Eagles, for that matter, just before Sunday Night Football begins. So, check us out there. Ian, you're at Ian Blogs Hockey. Your final thoughts on this evening?
When the Sharks do good, it's good. Twitter's such an interesting place right now. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be at Ian Blogs Hockey on the Twitter machine. Depends on how this goes, because I've already decided, I'm not social enough that I'm not gonna go anywhere else. If Twitter goes down, I'm going down with the ship. But yeah, as long as my tweets are not stuck in your junk folder, whatever Elon said, I'll be there.
I'm at PuckGuy14 practically everywhere on social media. So You can find me wherever things go. Are we going to go back to MySpace now? What's next?
No,
I mean,
I mean you can. I'm not. I'm done.
uh,
You can find me on YouTube.
find him on YouTube right here. Ian Reed on Teal Town USA. He's not going anywhere. He's now going to do the rest of the season no matter what. Even if it's 3 a.m. out in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, I just saw him, his eyes blow up. He's like, oh, hell no. So with that, we'll leave you again.
I just want to think of what game could have me here at 3:00 in the morning. Like the Sharks are not making the playoffs, so that's out.
Wishful thinking, all right? Come on.
Like what time is ESPN starting the game that's going to have me here at 3 a.m.?
Hey, we got close to that one game where I did it from the tank. Shoot.
Fuck.
I had the cleaners like, are you done in the suite already? We need to clean up. I'm like, just chill out.
Yeah.
All right. So for Ian, I'm Eric. Again, After Dark Takeover with the Pucknologist Sunday following Wild and Sharks. And thanks for watching. We appreciate each and every one of you watching. Please tell a friend. And until next time, keep it real. Keep it teal. Keep it real teal. Have a great night, everyone. We will see you Sunday night with an After Dark Takeover with the Pucknologist. Good night, everyone.